Sa tulong ng user na, na-experience ko resulta. Ang lost weight. Mas naging active. At hindi na ako matulong magutom. For more minutes. Na-control ko ang diabetes sa tulong ng user na with 35 years.
Slam dunk lyrics. What's up, India Gaming? Arigatou gozaimasu! May Tagalog version pa. Chala and Chala lyrics. Chala and Chala lyrics. One third Junjun. No lyrics, please. So guys, please subscribe. Would appreciate it.
Not sure. Be sure. Sigurado sa sabi mo. Sabi,
I want to see that in a cosplay. Yes, exactly. Silhouette lyrics. Silhouette karaoke.
Pag malakas dito, tuloy ang galaw. Mag-update araw-araw.
Wow, there's so many hugs. Woo! Thanks, Namco Bandang. This is a love fest. Mayo, Mayo. Scratch fest, love fest. Let's go. Oh, yes. Let's go. 死に起こされすべてをこなし時に笑顔を作り心は仲間に通りも胸をつばくいつも答えはないけど弾くように世界が危ないとニュースが招き立て時に涙流しできることもなく思い現実通り雨なき心が騒いだ君の嘘が本になんだため息深くため息わずかな文字の息をさぶのなんかため息全部ダメかも見えない花の雲はすれかきて君と自分にした気分そうさ刀の動きさ風に足が聞いていればいいさなんか幸せちょっと幸せ感じる時こそ一番幸せなんか抜けそううまく夢そういうもうあれ始め幸せだねThe funny is this. Holy crap. My hero. try Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul lyrics. Unravel. Oh my god! So hard. He's whispering and he's singing and shouting at the same time. There's so much more marks. Wow. One piece. It's not even over yet. Not even over yet. Oh, it is. Wow, I'm running out of air in that song. Insane. Insane. That song is insane. No surrender Tekken lyrics. I feel this energy. time is now. Feel my energy. That voice is telling me to take a chance and not back down now. Today and nevermore. Can't take this anymore. I'll take my joy for good or evil. Lord, it's out to conflict and destruction. God of destruction. Destiny is my connection now. I feel it in my bones. God makes you most immortal. So remember, no surrender, my defining moment. Oh, 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 I will stand up, overcome my past. This is the end. It takes forever, no surrender, now or never. Myself. Feel my energy. That voice is telling me to change it again. I'm going down now. And nevermore. Can't take this anymore. For good or evil. Destruction. No surrender, no one ever, my stand. Oh, 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 oh. What a place to place numbers. Perfect place. One is for the blaze. Kilo, you can. Johnny Cage. Sub-Zero. Devil May Cry lyrics. This is what I live for. Jackpot. Don't say it. Jackpot. Die. Suicide for a second chance. But you become a man. It makes me stronger. I got crazy stronger. Until the end of the judgment night. This will take your life. Let's go home, judgment night. Blow like it swallow. Feel the freedom like no tomorrow. For beautiful souls device. Maybe this what the things right. Really all that you can suffer. Your years are green under. Kill them all the time to kill them all. Back down without kids law. You're just don't sit in me. Now let's go to fly. Yeah, yes, 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 Temptation takes over my mind. Everything I need, so in the strength of the hand. Oh, it's the heart. I feel the song that is broken. Die. I need more power. I am the song that is broken. place. I have been lost. I have been crisis the deep. Closing waking. These ashes that divine. This is misery. We also won't surrender. Could you feel that I surrender? If I could fire it out forever, just what's lost in our remember. That's 89, 94, 31. What the hell is that? Taste the blood. Take me up. Fight like a man. San Marino. Nakiba ka? you move, make you scared, make the living hot, like you can. Fight like you know. Yeah, fight like you know.
No worries dahil okay ang saya with EFT Saya Mo. May only FT, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only GKI, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga kaya di ka matulad na sa EFT.
Video, video.
This one is interesting. Let's see, Law in Tekken 7 is probably at the top of advanced. And with Tekken 8, oh my god, we have to go bagoosh. But the question is, do we goosh again? What's up guys, main man Sui here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and now it's a glorious day. We're gonna do a tier list, and not any other tier list, we're gonna do a difficulty tier list. For a game as complicated as Tekken, that's a challenge to do, and also because we all are so emotional with this game, and it's so legacy, it's been 30 years now, we all wanna hear our characters the hardest in the game. I'm gonna try and keep it as objective as possible, but it's hard, we're all biased in some shape or form. But so disclaimer, this is my opinion, right? So take it with a huge grain of salt. It's just my opinion. And what makes a character difficult? Most people, I think, only see difficulty very superficially. I see this, be it people talk about Tekken or Dota or Street Fighter, but it's obvious to everyone is mechanical skill. Oh my god, the finger dexterity you need to play that character. Oh my god, it's so complicated. You gotta do this button into this button. You know, you can learn mechanical skill in like, give it 100 hours and you probably have decent mechanical skill, like execution on a particular character. But when a character is difficult strategy-wise, it takes an absurd amount of time now to learn this character. The most difficult characters are characters where you find in any given game or environment, we rely on fundamental skill. How much do you need to know about the game in general to do well with this character? Certain characters, they have a bypass button or buttons to skip neutral, for example. And now I don't need to master the neutral or know everything about your character because I can just throw brainless offense your way and it's up to you to deal with it. So that makes the character much more efficient and easy for someone who has very little time. When you talk about difficulty, especially in a game as complicated as Tekken, there's a lot that goes into it. What does the mechanical skill look like? How much does this character value fundamentals? How much does this character have to respect the opponent? Because now it means you have to learn how to deal with all these characters. If a character can just disrespect constantly, well, that makes your life a heck of a lot easier. Right? How huge of a chunk of the move list do you have to use to be effective with this character, etc., etc., etc. I hope you get what I'm saying. And I'm gonna try to judge every character along this fashion. You see, I have super hard, so these are the hardest characters in the game. Advanced is above intermediate, obviously, so advanced is difficult, but it's not among the most difficult. Intermediate is people who are largely sweats. An intermediate character in Tekken is still difficult, I would say, but you know, intermediate when you compare it to everyone. And then we have characters who are obviously easy. This could be a character like Leroy, for example, or Asuka, who are clearly designed to make your life much, much easier, right? And then we have Brain Dead, and this would be a character like Alyssa, for example, who there are rats outside my building who can operate Alyssa. And the character is unbelievably broken in terms of attacks and frames and super brain dead strategy wise. This is like the perfect storm of any fucking muppet can pick up the controller and win with the character. Like if you lose with this character when you play online and ranked, it is 110% your fault. Next up is going to be Asuka. Asuka, I would say, is clearly designed to be easy. The easiest, pun intended, way of explaining this is that she's designed to sort of be a character with training wheels when you're new to Tekken. When you're new to Tekken, it is clearly extremely overwhelming dealing with 40 different characters who also have very rich move lists, and they're throwing stuff your way. And Asuka says, man, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, so I'm gonna do back 3, I'm gonna do an extended parry that I can just hold. I'm gonna do my can-cans. I'm gonna do my sabaki that is safe on block. I'm gonna do my 1 million different options that is anything except for blocking. And guess what? It's super efficient. So whatever you do, I don't give a shit. I got my big defensive buttons. Up in here you go, fuck you. And then in terms of my offense, I have some pretty simple, easy buttons to press. I have a safe mid launcher in 1+2. I do down 1+2. I hit your feet into a guaranteed forward 2. If you miss anything from almost any range, I press forward 2 and I launch you. Very, very simple. But I can't say she's brain dead, because when it comes to the offense, you are going to have to work quite a bit harder. Yes, and the character is not particularly strong. Eddie can only go into brain dead tier, take the controller, and just slam it against you. Just slam it against your head. And Eddie starts dancing. He starts dancing and it never ends. And he just does tornadoes of bullshit. Most people just don't know the matchup. And it's one of those characters where it's easy to play. Have you pressed one button over and over many times? Left kick button. You do this, anyone can press a button. But dealing with that sequence takes a certain amount of like fundamental defensive skill and technique. There's some dude that has script pressing one button and he made it to Gary in the US. I don't need to say anything other than that. I think we're done. But I do also want to add that helping him in this game is the fact that they reanimated the entire character. And in my opinion now, it is impossible to tell what the fuck he's doing. As annoying as Eddie was in Tekken 7 or Tekken fucking 3, right? You can always tell the moves apart. And it felt fair in that way. It's like, okay, handstand, negativa, relax. He's got a million annoying buttons, but at least I can tell them apart. Then you reanimated Eddie? And I'm like, what did you just do? But it all looks the same. And I wonder how many people share my point of view on this, where you can't tell what the fuck he's doing. And now we have Jack 8. I'm gonna put him in intermediate. Almost wanna slam him down here because he has a high win rate online, and I know why that is. It's because no one plays the character, so people are completely unfamiliar with his moveset and his new Gamma Howl stance. They play him like people play Lay. They just do stance rushdown with Jack now, and it's so ugly. It's so ugly. And unfortunately effective because people don't know the counter. But this is a character that could be solidly intermediate in Tekken 7, but maybe should go down to easy in this game. But it's really a case of he's on the fucking border here. There is an intermediate character in there. It's just that they've dumbed down some of the stuff quite a bit. I'll put him in easy to just stance rush down, garbage. Leo is easy, in my opinion. Can also do the stance rush down, is very safe, bulk garbage everywhere. Maybe he is intermediate. Yeah, you know what, maybe he is intermediate. At least you need to bother with quite a few moves with the character. And there's a nice mix of defense, utility, and aggro. Leroy is 100% meant to be an easy character. Very stringy, kills you simply for you blocking, chip damage into gigantic frames. Has a pin cane to get a free low launcher on you, mixes with a mid launcher. Zero execution skill. Strong, easy mix-ups. Lydia, this one, so many characters I'm unsure of immediately. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I just don't give a shit. Kudera. Devil Jin. I want to put him in super hard, but I don't know, due to Samsara back free and how disgustingly spammy his charge-up punches. This character is here when you see him operated by someone like Momo. But most Devil Jins, they play him in this fashion where you do appreciate the level of skill that's required, but honestly, instead of blocking, just spamming hyper parry, back three, samsara, and then, do a big combo into wall. But my charge up punch, I'm sorry, I can't put that character in super hard. I just fucking can't.
Sino ang Arnino?
Hi, Ma. Binayaran ko yung condos natin. Sunod ko yung paglaan.
Salamat, Angelo.
Ikaw, Ma. Kasama niyo. Angela.
Lars, I'm gonna put in intermediate. I feel like a lot of people wanna see him in easy, but anytime I see a decent Lars player, it is pretty sophisticated, I think. Because a Lars player always has to be aware of the easy option selects the opponent has on his mix-ups, his stance mix-ups, be it silent entry or dynamic entry. Opponent has easy option selects, and Lars players are always playing around that with like delay timing and stuff. I think Lars is not as brain dead as people think, and I used to call him really brain dead as well, but I just don't think he is. I think Lars players deserve more credit. Lee is another character that is enormously difficult to play. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a but here though. He is made a little bit easier due to being one of the owners of these insufferable, like safe, high heat engager power crush in back 3-4. And that does dumb him down a little bit, but I'm still gonna put him in super hard because mechanical skill aside, you all know he requires execution. I'm not gonna get into that. But it's like, it's just his game plan. You need exceptional timing. You need to be an exceptional defensive player. Anytime you block a -10 to -13, acid rain, acid storm at -15. Your keep out better be on point, like back 4 timing, 1+2 timing, magic 4 setups. Like you need to get your opponent to press into you. You need to read his timing and fuck him up for it. But then if you play against a really strong turtle, like a high level player, it's very hard to break a turtle playing late. A lot of people think like, oh, you have back 3-3 now to get them to duck. But that's like an 18 damage attack that's launch punishable. People don't realize that, but you need to do 5 back 3-3s to get the damage that's the equivalent of if someone just ducks one of those back 3-3s. The risk to reward is fucking terrible. And also his slide doesn't knock down. And he doesn't have a throw game. It's like, in terms of offense, I'm not saying the character is useless. There are no bad characters in this game. He has offensive utility. I'm just saying that the game plan is difficult. And that's what makes the character so difficult. It's not the mechanical skill, in my opinion. And then we have Robin. This is also a character we could call a chipmunk, because anytime you encounter a raven in rank, no one knows what you're doing, right? And you win again by just spamming shit, and you could be at 30 defense. But I think when it's all said and done, if you want to master this character, there is more than meets the eye. It's a very, very, very interesting toolkit. I think he's one of the best examples actually of a balanced heat mode. It doesn't matter that his heat is balanced because you have no clue what he's doing anyway. You're like, oh, close, and you die. But if you go to practice mode and you look at his frames, especially in heat, you see a heat mode on a character where you go like, this should be almost heat on every character. It's very fair what he does in heat. Very fair. In a game where, half the characters, as soon as they're in heat, they have really absurd utility. So I really appreciate that about Raven. And that if you know the matchup, it really doesn't scumbag you too much. And then, it's very interesting move list where I think if you want to get the most out of it, you have to spend a lot of time with the character. Feels like one of those characters where every move serves a purpose. So Raven, I think, also is a character that deserves more credit. It's just not as easy as people think. But again, it doesn't stop a 20 defense Raven from blowing you up because you don't know the matchup, because he's so rare. Panda and Kuma are absolutely brain. And one of the favorites, at least in EU ranked, in terms of I would like some free points. People will play these characters and they will just do things. And then you try and check them and you're like, did he go under my down for one? But he's as big as a fucking van. Doesn't matter. He went under your down for one because for some reason Kuma has AOP or Zafina and they just do things. And then we're in heat and they just do things. And it's absolutely mindless. And I think these two have the highest win rates. Panda, Kuma, Zafina, I think still have the highest win rates. Bottom 3 pick rates. No one fucking plays us. And we are some of the hardest matchups to win. And I tried to talk a bit about this before, how much you gain being just not only set it aside that these are very hard matchups to learn and deal with, even for pro players. Let's set that aside. Let's just talk about how favored you are to win in Tekken if you're a character no one fucking plays. Raven is one of these, right? Leroy is one of these. Lydia is one of these. If you lab these characters, you go through them in practice mode, you take an entire day to do it. You sit there for 8 hours, right? Doesn't fucking matter. You learn every single frame, doesn't matter. Because next time you run into a Lydia, it's gonna be a month later, and you're gonna go, you're not gonna remember a single fucking thing. And this is just due to how your brain works. Because if your brain determines that this was not valuable information, your brain discards it. To truly learn something, you have to quickly apply it. It's a bit like how you're studying, maybe in college or high school. You study for your exam, and then you have your exam and you apply the knowledge you have learned. Try doing the same exam 3 months later, when you have not kept this information fresh in your head. You are lucky to remember 20%. Your brain will have discarded it because you're on the next class. You are learning new things. The same rule applies to Tekken. You lab Brian, and then you go, oh, and you play the next day, and lo and behold, you encounter a Brian because he's a very popular character. And now you apply what you learned, and your brain, it starts getting cemented into your brain. Okay, that's how I deal with that. Okay, because you apply the knowledge you have studied and learned. But that's the thing, when it comes to these characters, you can lab them, but then when you encounter them like 2 weeks later, a month later, 3 months later, you do not remember what you studied. And that's a gigantic strength that can never be underestimated on these characters. These are also some of the hardest matchups to learn. These characters do not operate like Heihachi, Paul, Lo, Shaheen, Fenway. They have very weird hitboxes that require very specific answers after a lot of attacks. I can't stress enough how much what I'm trying to explain to you now, how much that factors into the absurd win rates on these characters. Because it's certainly not because the people piloting these characters are geniuses. It's typically the opposite. Let's see, Asusena is designed to be easy. I don't think she's brain dead due to some of her stance utility. But then she has back buckles to the, power crush heat engager, safe, but designed to be, I'm gonna say easy. I can't put her here. I'm gonna also deserves a bit more respect than saying she's brain dead in my opinion. Lily is intermediate. Almost at the cusp here, but I'm gonna say intermediate. She has a lot of stuff you can spam. Clearly designed, in my opinion, to be a defensive character and to reward someone with high amounts of patience, movement skill, and just the defensive skill. Huarang is an advanced character, and now you're thinking he's a brain dead monkey spam character. In my opinion, he's not. Also a character that has a lot of mechanical skill. If you play this character, I swear to God, so you play him in ranked, you will quickly realize there's way more work than you think.
We will be pairing you up, and together, you are gonna take on a cooking challenge.
Ooh. Cooking is definitely an ultimate dream flag for me.
If you know, you know.
Goodbye.
Only when the unforeseen strikes may be possible.
And it's much more difficult than simply running in, spamming down free form over and over. This is something I learned already in Tekken 7, and in my opinion, he was easier to play in Tekken 7. But you know, it feels like the opposite when you're getting bombarded by his flamenco. Happens to me as well. I also get mashed by Orang players, but doesn't change the fact that he's an advanced character. June is Bagoosh. Is she more technical than Asuka? I almost want to say she's more technical than Asuka. But she's so spammable as well. She is so spammable as well. I'm gonna put her in easy. There's a case for her being intermediate though, but I'm gonna put her here. Steve is arguably the hardest character to play in the entire fucking game. I don't know if I want to spend too much time with this character though. I feel like I've explained this character to death. I don't want to talk too much about Kazuya, Ivo, Heihachi, etc. I think his heat is extremely fair. I think his mix-up utility is super fair. Has no vortex utility, has very limited punishment, relies almost exclusively on opponents pressing into him. High execution skill, super rich move list, stance heavy, gotta learn to utilize a fuck ton of stances optimally. I think he's arguably the hardest character to play in the game. I'm probably gonna go with him for the hardest character. I just feel like he gets nothing for free in this game. And the game is full of characters that get quite a few things for free. Heihachi to me is one of the hardest in the game. If you are like a beginner or an intermediate, you're gonna feel like this character is here. Is he doing house sweeps? Oh, demon uppercut, demon uppercut. Oh my god, number two. Oh, my feet. Oh! He's gonna feel brain dead. But once you reach higher level, you're truly going to see how limited he is and how much he relies on die hard, like super high skill. Because he has like almost no neutral control. His neutral control is like electric, back four, forward three, or raw frost. Very, very carefully placed. Everything is option selected by stepping. And his execution is super high and relies more on electric than the other Mishimas, in my opinion. Paul is one of the hardest characters in the game. I know you feel it's not the case because you've eaten his heat death fist, but in my opinion, he's one of the most fair characters in the game. Super committal and plays mostly around timing-based pokes, fishing for counter hits, and is more limited in its offense than most people think. Devilman clean hit range is super scuffed in Tekken 8 compared to Tekken 7 and prior games, like super scuffed. And he's also higher on mechanical skill than people think. Always revolves around core circle forward, core circle forward, core circle back. You gotta do those very quickly. It sounds like it's not a lot of execution, but it is in the end when you add it up. Xiaoyu is a tricky one. I absolutely despise this character. I hate Xiaoyu. Fucking hate this character. But the reality is you gotta try and be a bit objective, you know, when you're gonna look at the characters. And she does enrich Tekken with her very unique playstyle. There's no one really like Xiaoyu in this game, so if you're looking for another very unique way of approaching Tekken, Xiaoyu exists. That's a big positive. And playing against her might be torture. It would be an emotional reaction to put her here, because the reality is that there is more to the character. If you want to play her at the highest level, it just factors in that she is a character like no other character. You have to spend a fuck ton of time just fucking labbing Xiaoyu if you want to play her. Like, she has a million fucking flow charts you gotta learn. It's a bit like how Yoshi used to be. But then, you know, Tekken 8 happened. But I think even with her dumbing down, and I'm gonna explain the dumbing down, and it's basically, it's all hypnotist stance. and it's all tied to heat. I think if you remove the hypnotist stuff she got in Tekken 8 and you remove heat, Xiaoyu would be a respectable character. So what do I mean by this? She lands a launcher or she lands a knockdown and she gets you towards the wall, she pops heat, and now she can do that heat wall combo, 4, 2, 1, 2, right? And then into, she does that power crush kick. And it's 1,000,000 damage, and now you pancake flip, and now she sets up hypnotist, either by doing some ridiculously plus unlock attack, or she manually goes into hypnotist, and now she has either a mid that blows you up, or an unseeable low that blows you up, and it's minus 13 on block. Or she does on back turn a heat smash that on hit does 50 damage and leaves you standing and stunned. After 50 damage, you're at minus 20, like this in front of her, like finish him. And now you have to eat that aforementioned hypnotist mix-up. Or if you block that heat smash, you take chip damage and she's still plus 20. She is still plus 20. It's just one of those characters where unfortunately the developers they could not contain themselves when it came to heat. You know, I've been playing this game forever, so when I play ranked, I recognize a lot of the names. And you will encounter these Xiaoyu specialists, so in Tekken 7, they actually had to do a couple of things. And then you see them in this game, and and you're just like, well, you're Bob, you're just a shadow of your former self. When did you turn into a Muppet? But yeah, Xiaoyu, I'm still gonna put her in intermediate, but it's very tempting to put her here. To be honest, if I judge this character the way most people play her, probably here. This one is interesting. Let's see, Law in Tekken 7 is probably at the top of advanced. He is literally at the top of this pile. He's not in super hard, but wow, he is an advanced character to play. And with Tekken 8, oh my god, we have to go bagoosh, bagoosh. But the question is, do we goosh again?